Your mentor reach out to you?
Yeah, but she.
Hello, everybody.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Good, Amy. How are you doing?
I am good. I am good. Thanks.
Wonderful.
Yes, I'm excited for today. It's gonna be great.
Wonderful. Yeah, I think it'll be fun.
I think it will be too. So we'll let everybody join us and then we'll get going.
Probably like
That's good.
Yeah.
Karen, do you have slides?
Of course. Yes.
Perfect. So I'll stop sharing when I turn it over to you and let you do your slides. So I'm gonna go ahead and make you a co-host then.
Perfect.
Okay. Hey, Christina, how are you? Oh, can't hear you.
Of course.
Oh, now I can. There you go. Hey, everybody. We'll get started in just a minute or two. Let everybody get on. We've got a lot of people joining us. Carol, thanks for asking me for that schedule because I hadn't even thought about putting it on there. So thank you for that.
Go. Sorry about that.
Nope.
I was looking all over the place. I'm like, I know Amy does this every year. She'll put the schedule, and I can't find it. And I know it's there, but anyway.
Okay. No, we're good. Hey, Melissa, good looking Ranger's hat.
Thank you.
Harley, that's an old picture. I don't think I've ever seen you with your hair that long. All right, so we'll give it one more minute and then we'll go ahead and get started. And forgive me, I'm getting a cold. Gotta love those summer colds, so I'm a little bit sniffly today. I know there's several people that are on vacation this week. I got notices back when I sent out the reminder about the call. And Shannon, lucky Shannon, she's in Greece right now. So yeah.
Wow, love that.
I know. All right, so we are recording this. So anybody that's not able to join us today, I'll send that out. So I think that we'll go ahead and get started since you guys are all here. So just a couple of housekeeping things before we get to our presentation today. As always, we encourage women on fire to bond. We are more powerful when we work together. Carol and I were talking about, so here is the monthly schedule. I went ahead and posted that on the Facebook group today. So if you're curious, but it's always the second Tuesday at 2:30. We do keep it pretty straightforward so everybody knows when it's going to be. Here's our expectations for the monthly calls, the group calls. Kind of it's the same as it's been. Again, the individual mentor-mentee meetings, you can meet once a month, generally 30 to 45 minutes. You can do Zoom, call, text, whatever works. For those of you that may not have heard my pitch before, Hearth Design Specialist. If you're interested in taking advantage of that, it is something that is offered through NFI for free for people that have participated in the program. So if it's something you're interested in doing and haven't already let me know that or are working on it, reach out to me and let me know, and I can get you all set up and get you a manual sent out for that. I'm really excited. Karen Harman-Smeltz is our guest speaker today, and I'm very excited. So, as you can see here, Karen grew up in the hearth industry as part of her family's company, Harman, since 1979. In 2007, following Harman's acquisition by HHT, she continued there with them, taking on a variety of different roles over 17 years. And in 2004, she returned to her entrepreneurial roots, stepping away from her corporate job with HHT to become an executive advisor for DS Stoves. And they do pellet stoves. Is that right, Karen? Pellet stoves?
They do cook stoves and furnaces, and they have
Okay.
custom fabrication. Sister company is Brio,
Okay.
Fireplace.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, and then she was a recent guest on Tim Reed's podcast, so check that out wherever you get your podcasts. It's called Forging Your Own Path, and it's good. I listen to it, so if you get a chance, go ahead and put it on because it's a good podcast. So I'm gonna go ahead and stop sharing, so
Okay.
you can share. Let's see. It's just not giving me the option to stop. It's giving me the option to pause. Let's see. Stop share. There we go. So I'm
Okay.
going to turn it over to Karen, and we'll go from there.
All right. Let's make sure I can do this correctly here. Oh, you're getting sneak peeks. Oh, look at that. All right.
Oh,
Presentation mode. Can you see
there we
it?
go.
You can see okay?
Yep.
Awesome. Okay.
There we go.
Cool.
Perfect.
All right. So, hello, everyone. I see some familiar faces here. I was asked to do a presentation based on our professionalism really being our overall theme for this year. And I was really excited about it. And then also like, there's so many different ways I could go with this. How do I really want to go about this presentation? And I have been through a lot of changes in the last year, and I thought that it might be interesting or helpful to share with you what I've been through and some revelations and aha moments that I've had in hopes that maybe even just a little nugget of our time today could be helpful for you or resonate with you in some way or another. So for me, I decided that overwhelm has been a big part of my life. Growing up in a family business, my dad started Harman Stoves when I was 3 years old. And so I was part of that. Actually didn't go to college to be in the family business, but then did decide to go into the family business back in 98. Awesome. So incredible growth with our company. And then we ended up having HHT purchase our company back in 2007. So that just flew it way into this is all about corporate now. Life has completely changed. The decisions are not our own. And luckily for me, within that environment, I was able to do things I had never thought that would be possible. I got to experience a lot of things, do a lot of really cool things, a lot of really hard things. And, it's led to what this PowerPoint is today. So let me move on. I want this to be open. So you're going to hear some true confessions from me. So I consider us to be a group that, the goal is for us to share and just to be real. And so I hope that's coming across to you as we go through here. You can always feel free to put your hand up, or if you have something to add, please come off mute and just step in. Is totally fine. So let's talk about the actual definition of stress and then overwhelm. Stress is a response to specific challenges or pressures. Some stress is good. It's okay to have some stress. We all have it in some ways or another. It's often very motivating. Cool. Stress can be okay. Overwhelm is that extreme stress, right? When it's piling and piling. And I think of it as, the one really hard thing isn't even figured out yet, and 5 more super hard things are piling right on top of it. And that just gives this, state of overwhelm and hard to prioritize. And so that is really the basis of where I'm coming from today. So let's also talk about the research on all of this. So 63% of women who turn to these social networks, like us, the Women's Mentoring Group, 63 of them found this being helpful and really helps them make the right kind of changes, compared to only 36% in men. 43% of women said their stress has increased over the last 5 years, whereas men only 33%. But what's probably the most concerning is what you see on the right-hand side. All of the symptoms of this prolonged stress, and I'll call overwhelm prolonged stress. Women are predispositioned for all of these more than men. Fatigue. We get nervous and anxious, overwhelm. We sometimes get, lack of energy. We're really tired. We're not motivated. We might not appreciate or like the things that we used to, or have time to appreciate the things we used to. Feeling depressed. We feel like we could cry. We get headaches. We can't sleep. We're dreaming up things to be worried about in our mind, right? And so all of that sounds pretty bad, right? All these symptoms of stress, like we are here to help each other get out of that. Like it's not okay. It's not good for our health. And we really need to not have these symptoms of stress. On the good side of it, 85% of what we worry about actually never really comes to fruition. So that's also a good statistic. So stop worrying so much. 85% of it is never going to happen. Give yourself a little bit of grace. And also the benefit is that women by nature have much better, and research shows better relationships and really feel more tied and connected to each other. So again, that's a big reason of why we're here as well, and that we're all allowed to admit, our faults a little bit here and there. So with all of this, I want to tell you about my little epiphany, and I'll try not to cry during it. So I've lived a life of a lot of overwhelm, a lot of pressure that I put on myself. I've had a lot of hard work situations. My husband traveled a lot. I have a son that's in the Marine Corps. I have a 14-year-old daughter, and this is my grandbaby Milani on my swing. So as many stresses were compounding over year after year after year, I really started searching, like, this is not how it should be. I'm proud of my work. I'm proud of what I do. I don't really want to do anything else, but gosh, how do I manage this? It just seems like it's just raining miracles every night. Some miracle has to be done. And so, like many of you, we all like self-help, right? I searched everywhere, prayed about it, I Googled it, I was just looking for this thing, this like aha moment that if I read this certain thing, then it would all totally make sense and I'd be able to live harmoniously and be like, Karen, get over it, you're fine. And so it didn't actually happen like that. And I talked to life coaches and everyone's like, what do you really want? What do you want? And I'm like, I don't know what I want in life. Like, it was just, I am a servitude type of person. So again, it's a me thing. So I finally had my rare moment where I'm like, okay, I was working from home. I'm like, I am just going to go outside, I'm going to take a moment, and I'm going to sit on my daughter's swing, which is what my granddaughter is sitting on in this picture. So I go out and I sit on my little flower swing and I'm like, okay, need to have a moment here. What am I thinking? And so I'm like, I should really be writing this down. But of course, no one has time to write anything down. So I voice texted it into my phone. Just like blah, 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 blah. Everything that I was thinking and feeling and going into the whys and all of that good stuff. And what came out was like, I just want to live a life that is fulfilling, not so dang overwhelming. And that to me was an aha moment. It was yeah, that's it. That's what I want to do. It doesn't mean that I don't want to work hard. I love working hard. That's fulfilling to me. It's not that I don't want to do a pile of things, but I don't want to feel so dang overwhelmed through all of this. And then I had to dig into, well, how do I not do this? This is my responsibility. And as many of you may realize, like when we're frustrated about something, we can always find someone to commiserate with. someone that's also frustrated or mad and we're just all blah, 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 and that makes you feel good for a little bit, but are you really moving the needle forward? Are you really becoming a better person through all of that? So that brings me to the accountability and realizing, can we really separate the stress that's happening, the things that are happening, versus the story we're telling ourselves about how we have to handle it? So something to ponder is, again, looking at what percentage is actually what's going on and how much of it is the stress that you're putting on yourself to make it perfect or make it a certain way. So then there's the trap of busyness. So in this looking inward, okay, why do I feel this way? And I'm just telling you my story. Like, again, you can think of it on your own in your own situation. So I really had to look inward, like, why do I feel this way? Why do I let myself get so busy? Why do I feel so overwhelmed? Until really the 5 whys, right? You answer that question and you ask yourself why you feel that way, why you feel that way. And I realized, oh my gosh, this is really gross, but my why was being busy made me feel important. And I feel like that's gross. That is absolutely not the way I want to be at all. But I was conditioned through so much time of 8 hours of meetings, 10 hours of meetings, never being able to finish everything, not being present at soccer games, not being emotionally, or just, oh, I bring my laptop along to every soccer tournament. And my daughter saw that. Absolutely. And she was mad at me that the laptop's always in the car. And so trying to just really, okay, why am I doing that? Because I have to be accountable for my actions. And so it hurt to be like, okay, Karen, you're doing this because you feel important when you're busy. And so that was a gut punch. Then I'm like, okay, what really matters? And so you can peel back that onion as hard as you can on your own. But that caused me to make some changes in my life. And again, what percent of your overwhelm is the real work that has to be done? And how much is you putting all of the extra pressure on yourself for that to be perfect? And I put the little clock in here because, guys, we always have to remember that time is precious for all of us. And, even I go a little bit crazy where if I'm invited to a wedding, their gift is always like either a really fancy hourglass or something like that, so that they remember that time is very precious. And it is for all of us. And how many stories have you heard about people who just got to retirement and then didn't get to enjoy it because something happened to them? So make sure that you enjoy things along the way. Then there's that trap of perfection. A lot of us are high functioning professionals and we have high standards in our work, in your job, in your store, in your brand, and you want things upheld in a certain way. And sometimes that can make us perfectionists. And here's just like some bubbles of examples of like, oh, I can't let anyone see I'm struggling. If I don't do it perfectly, it's not worth doing. Resting is lazy unless I've earned it. I should be doing the most of anybody here. I'm the owner. I'm in charge of this. Or, gosh, if I say no, that makes me look selfish. And then perhaps my favorite, everyone seems to be handling more than I am. And underlying seems to be is really important here because it's that perception that we're falling behind when you're actually leading the ship. I know I spoke a lot already. Does anybody have anything to add or any questions? Okay. So then I decided maybe we needed some little ways to spot our self-inflicted stress. So this is just something for you to think about on your own. Am I holding myself to a standard that no one else expects of me? What internal standards am I pushing on myself? No one else cares. What would I say to a friend in this exact same situation? Someone came to you with the exact same problem you have. What advice would you give them? And then lastly, who are you really trying to impress? And do they even care? An example that I have is I was once told, we've never seen you fail. You've never failed at anything. So we're just going to keep pushing you because we've never seen you fail. And I think my immediate reaction was like, of course not. Like, I'm not going to let that happen. And so anyway, it was just an interesting moment because it's like, of course we all fail. It's just not everyone sees it, right? And not everyone has a podium to have their failure shown on. So, we all have to just give ourselves some grace and some humanness. And it's something I'm still working on is, trying to chill out on myself a little bit. So I hope that you guys all do that too. So it also is a little bit of a mindset shift for those of you that are perfectionists. And it's instead of it has to be great, I have to be the best. It has to turn out, the project has to check all of the boxes. Sometimes it's just, it has to get done, right? If you're doing your scheduling, your install schedule for the week, sometimes it just has to get done, right? And asking yourself, what if it's not good enough? Well, you know what? It's just at some point you just have to get done, cross that off, have that gratification that you cross something off your list. If you have to circle back to it later to perfect a few little things or add a few more things, great. But at least it's on to whether it's you're handing it off to the next person so they can start their portion of the project. Whatever it may be, done is better than perfect. So this is some homework for you. I wanted to give you some tools that I liked for overwhelm. And the first thing is actually a TED Talk that I will send you the link afterwards to this. So it talks about triaging your to-do list. And so maybe you've seen it before. Dara Long is an ER doctor, and she did this amazing TED Talk talking about how we're crazy busy. I'm crazy busy. I'm crazy busy. And to go from that to I'm ready. And so her whole TED Talk is talking about triaging your list, like literally your to-do list. What is the hot, emergency, can't possibly wait? That's at the top. And then you've got your yellows, which are like, yeah, it's important, but if I get to it tomorrow, it's okay. And then of course your greens, which are just like, no one's going to die. It can be done later, whatever. I think that that's all logical to us. And you're all probably thinking, yeah, that I do that kind of already in one way or another, but it does take time no matter what. And so definitely a great watch. I think it might be 8 to 10 minutes long. But she has some really great points where if you, even the words crazy busy, oh man, I'm crazy busy this week, I'm crazy busy today, that puts a thought in your head and like changes the wires in your brain a little bit to be a little bit more frantic and overwhelmed. Where if you plan your triage list, you're not crazy busy, you're ready for whatever is coming. Then your done list. Like, how good does it feel to be able to like cross things, like physically cross things off your list? I mean, even if you have to make some things a little bit easier tasks, like had lunch, cross off your list. Because some of you aren't even getting that. I know it. I know how you are. And then boundaries are brave. Say no when it's needed. Guilt isn't a stop sign that should make you, oh, I feel so guilty, so I just have to do it. We have to grow through it, and I'm still dealing with that. If somebody's going to have to suck it up and do something, I'd rather it be me than bother someone else for it. And, when in fact, maybe there's somebody who's actually more qualified to do it that could actually do it faster. So those are really important. And then feel the feelings. Like, it's okay to feel icky or have a bad day, but just don't stay in it. And I think that that's really important because you're all awesome and you're here so that we can all help each other. And it's super fun to be able to share all of that with you. So this is what I want for you. This is my last slide. I just want you to live a life of fulfillment, not overwhelm. And I have a fun song for you that I will send to you, which is Good Vibes. It's my favorite song. I just like play it really loud and it makes me feel good. And then again, that TED Talk that I think that you'll really like and get a lot out of. That's what I've got for you, Amie.
Thank you. I want to read one comment someone put in the chat, and then I'm going to open it up to any discussion. Felicity said, and does their opinion really even matter? All caps. LOL. I am guilty of letting things matter that shouldn't.
Oh,
Which,
yeah.
absolutely. Yeah. I can remember when I started teaching reviews when I came to work for NFI, and I know my stuff, but I was so nervous. And I was talking to my boss, and he goes, "You know that Schitt's Creek episode where David has to take his driving test? Nobody cares. Nobody
Yeah.
cares but you. You're making it a bigger deal than it actually is."
Yeah.
And I just kept thinking that. I'm like, yeah, because I know my stuff. They're all sitting there because their boss made them be there. It was fine. Nobody cares. So it's just that's that's like a mantra that nobody cares. Just you. You're the one that's making a bigger deal about this than it actually is. So
Right.
but yeah, but that I think that goes along absolutely with this. So if anybody would like to jump in, just take yourself off mute. And if there's any comments or questions or anything, I'd love to hear them. Quiet group today.
I secretly hope that no one can relate to anything that I said. And that everyone's like, she's the only one.
You're not the only
That's
one.
really my wish.
I think
You are
that's
not the only
perfection,
one at all.
everyone.
No.
Not alone at
Gosh.
all.
Yeah, well, it's very real and it'll creep up on you. I mean, I felt a little guilty coming into this when you said that she was in Greece. I'm coming off of a girls' weekend. So I turned 50 this summer. And so the only time all of us girls could get together was this weekend. And we went down the South Beach in Miami and had an absolute blast. So I'm feeling like super not overwhelmed right now because I'm relaxed. But I know that tomorrow this will creep up again.
Yes. So does anybody have anything else they would like to add or chat? This has been I think it's great. Oh, Rebecca, yeah, she said, thanks. This is what I really needed. And I would agree. I
Aw.
think, yeah, that's great. And then
Yay.
Tracy's like, you're not the only one that feels like this, which yeah, absolutely. I think we could probably all echo that. So
Thanks. Yeah, and thank you for plugging the podcast earlier too. And that was super fun to do that with Tim Reed. And kind of one of the things just kind of floated out of that was, for those of you that didn't see it, is like you need to do the work. Your today's self needs your future self to do the work. And so, you add all of that into this where it's like, again, you are a high functioning professional with a lot of responsibilities. Yeah. And so there's things that you can't procrastinate. You have to get them done. You have to, as overwhelming as it may feel, it's just hard to juggle, right? It's a lot of things that okay, I know I should put this on the shelf, or I should just like back away from this for a second and control myself a minute. And it's hard. I mean, it's just not easy. I guess, again, that's why we're all here to talk each other off the ledge. So I'm here for that. Call me, text me. I'll help with that.
yes, Debbie said, I'm looking forward to seeing the TED Talk. Thank you for sharing. I appreciated your talk.
You.
Very
Awesome.
nice.
Well, then I
Yeah.
can stop sharing here and
Okay.
I'll send you those links.
That would be awesome. I have, as you know me, I have a quote because I always do. So, can you guys see my screen? Yes. Seeing my quote. Did I share it the right screen today? It's been a thing. I'm on medication, so I'm on cough medicine. That cough medicine. There we go. Okay, so believe you can, and you're halfway there. It's a Theodore Roosevelt quote that I really like. Because if you believe in yourself, then you've already done half the hard stuff. So I just want you to remember that. And again, any questions? Here's my contact information. Feel free to reach out to me at any time. With anything, whether it's related to the program or not. So thank you, Felicity. Felicity said, thank you, Karen and Amie. Great meeting. You're welcome. We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys. So I just appreciate all of you very much. And I think it's a testament to all of us to be here every month and just kind of buoy each other up. So I think that's what I love the most about this. So does anybody have anything else before we end for the day? Kept it right at 30 minutes. I like that. Anybody? All right. So second Tuesday in July, when I send out the stuff for this call, which will be next week before I send out the recording because Shannon's not back till next week and she is my Uber. I'm going to condense this and put it on YouTube for you. So I will get that out next week, but like Karen said, she's going to send out the stuff for the TED Talk and the video. So we will get those out to everybody as well. And again, if you have any questions or need anything, I am always here. I think we will go ahead and call it a day. Thank you, everybody.
Awesome. See ya.
All right,
Thank you.
See ya.
See you
Bye.
ladies. Bye.
Bye.